Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat, and it's time for number 13 of our top 25 favourite wrestlers for the Christmas countdown. Remember, this is the top favourite wrestlers of the Grand Cat. That is completely opinion and no fact based on it whatsoever. Now, of course, your list should be very, very different from mine. If your list is exactly the same, let me know, because I'm very interested, because then we've got very, very similar minds. But time for number 13. This is someone very close to my heart, is also very close to my hometown. It begins with a D. It is DR, and it is Drew McIntyre. Aye, that's right, laddie. It's the big Scotsman, the Scottish psychopath himself, Drew McIntyre, formerly Drew Galloway on the indie circuits. Yes, here he is. It is, of course, big old Claymore-wielding Drew McIntyre. And what a fantastic wrestler he is. He's really made a real name for himself, I would say. I mean, he's comparable, I mean, in terms of, like, promo and everything, really, like, you know, like a modern-day Hulk Hogan in the way that he, you know, he handles himself. I don't mean that in a bad way, not by any means at all. I mean, it's really, really positive, and you know, you don't see someone like that these days. But and also McIntyre, like, you know, he can turn up the heat, he can, you know, become aggressive, he can put on a real hard hitting show, you know, like really brutal matches, but he can also do comedy and he can entertain you in various different ways. He can get himself over, you know, as the greatest face, you know, the head of the company, but also put himself over as, you know, the darkest of heels. You know, he really just has such a huge range of everything. Interestingly, Drew Galloway, or Andrew Galloway is his name, used to go to a little shop called The Dream, which is in Perth, and it was a little card game shop that you could play Yu-Gi-Oh at, and it had wrestling memorabilia, and obviously he wasn't interested in card games. You know, it was not his style, but he would come in after, like, going to the gym and things, and he knew the owner there. The Dream is obviously, like, long since shut down by this point, but yeah, like there was, I don't remember seeing him, but there's very possibility, like an absolute possibility, that we were in the same place at the same time. Multiple different times. There was a few guys that came in, and I remember them being big, tall guys, but not unless Drew Galloway, when he was, you know, younger, like, had shorter hair. But I don't remember having, you know, anyone with big long hair at that time. But yeah, no, it's very possible that we knew each other long before either of us had, well, I mean, he's obviously way more famous than what I am. Infinitely more famous than what the big old Grand Cat is. Big old Grand Cat, like 3,500 followers. Drew McIntyre, 3 and a bit million, I'd imagine. And I mean, if it's not over 3 million, then it really should be. I don't know if he's even got a YouTube channel or anything, but I mean, just in terms of fans, you know, like, he is loved across the world. I mean, he started out as, you know, the future of WWE, you know, handpicked by Vince McMahon, and then that just kind of faded away, and he became part of 3-man band, and kind of, like, you know, sat around the mid card, fell to lower than the mid card, and then ended up just getting released. And when he got released, it was probably one of the better things for him, even though he probably didn't think that at the time. But then he went back in the Indies. He went to ICW. He became champion there. He got himself over. It was a new gimmick. He got the beard. He got the persona and everything as well. And then, you know, from that he went to various different places. He was in Impact, I think, or TNA, or whatever you want to call it, at that point. And then from there he transitioned to NXT. And then it was when he came back for NXT to win the NXT Championship, that was when he really, really got into his stride. And then, of course, as we got into the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, as we're not allowed to call it what it's called, he ended up becoming, like, you know, essentially the face of the company, you know, winning the Royal Rumble, taking on Brock Lesnar, winning the championship, and then weirdly, immediately after winning the championship, also fought Big Show in a match directly after he beat Brock Lesnar. That was strange. But yeah, like a huge moment for the Scottish Psychopath. Of course, even like, you know, when he came back from NXT and he was moving up, he was teamed up with Dolph Ziggler, which people compared to Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels' tribute show, because of course Dolph Ziggler was unfortunately known as the Shawn Michaels tribute show, and Shawn Michaels himself even said there's a point when you pay homage to people and you use their moves and things, and then there's a part where it becomes like your gimmick is just you're just a gimmick of the person that you're kind of idolizing, I suppose. And I think that Drew McIntyre, kind of realized that, and got away from the whole like being the next Kevin Nash thing very, very quickly, and became the first Drew McIntyre. And I mean, like, to this day, like, there's never a point where you're going to see McIntyre as being, like, anywhere in, like, the bottom, like, rungs of the ladder of WWE. He's solidified himself as a main eventer. He's, I believe, the first Scottish world champion as well. Roddy Piper wasn't. I don't think anyone else from Scotland was. So it was a big thing for us here in Scotland. And even ICW is actually in my current hometown of Glasgow. So yeah, it's very, very cool to see the hometown hero becoming such a major name in WWE. So very, very cool, and absolutely well deserving of being in that top 13 place as good old Drew McIntyre. And that is going to be it for this video, folks. Let me know who your top 25 is, and if your number 13 is different from mine, let me know who you would have, and let me know where you would put Drew McIntyre in terms of your top favourite wrestlers. But that's going to be it for this video, folks. I really hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give us a like, share and subscribe, and if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so you can see when more of these videos go out. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.